to go last. Yeah. My people, what up, though? We back. I know it's been a while, but we back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice.
I got way too much energy for you to follow behind me with that bullshit, B. Like, you know what I mean? I would need you to keep up with the flow of the thing, Bell. You wounded. He wounded, y'all. He got an excuse. He got battle scars and wounds and bruises, kitchen walls and sinks and shit like that. Bellhead, check in, player. What's happening, man? I feel good tonight, fellas. I miss y'all boys, man.
We know why. Anyway.
It's good.
A lot's happening, man. I had my first surgery on Friday, and this
Shout out to the surgeons.
It's bothering me so much that my damn camera is dark right now. I don't know why it's dark. I got
the same problem last episode, B. You got doc say you need to back you out of me. What happened?
Nah, I tore my Achilles. I ruptured my Achilles. So
out in the podcast, I think everybody know.
Yeah, so I had to get surgery on Friday. I'm on crutches right now that you may or may not be able to see in the background. So I'm on crutches. And yeah, man, it's just it's different. It's a different world. I am not used to this life, being on crutches. I'm fortunately not in much pain, but I am on crutches. I'll be on crutches for 2 weeks. No weight bearing.
Dos semana. Sorry.
2 weeks. And then a walking boot thereafter. Doc said be prepared for like 6 months of recovery. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I was in the Bay with a torn Achilles, two-stepping. You know what I'm saying? All for you, P. All for you.
Hey, but I love you for it, but thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh, word. What else you got, Bellhead?
What else? I think that's really it. Like, I mean, that's gonna be. I'm taking this as a sign that I needed to slow down a little bit. So I'm taking the rest of the week off for the most part. I'll be working a little bit tomorrow, but for the most part, I'm only really going to be on for one call. And I'm going to begin planning the second half of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realized that I just go, right? Like, put a goal in front, hit it, put another goal, hit it. You don't slow down, right? You don't start to think of like, what's the purpose, right? What's your purpose, right? Are you fulfilling your purpose? Which I believe I am, but I need some readjusting. I had the harsh realization that I planned my life up until now, and I think a part of me may or may not have believed I would get this far, so I never planned for after this. So I'm like, life is cool, you know, but what's next? So I'm gonna take this time that I'm sitting down and start doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm reaching out to people that I haven't spoken to in a while. I've been doing that too. So just taking advantage of the blessing in disguise of me being able to sit down and regroup. That's all.
What's up? Yo, before I get into mine, hey, share the story about the hometown hero.
Yeah, man. So this is my first surgery ever in my life. So, and I played, just for y'all know, like I played football in college and all of that, and never had a surgery. So this naturally, at least for me, brought on some anxiety. You know what I mean? And anxiety around a lot of stuff, but in particular about physical tasks that I can or can't do with being on one leg. Basically, long story short, I moved to Boston about 2 years ago. And when I moved out here, a family that, is real heavy in our community where we're from, their oldest son, who I'm really, really cool with, lived out here. So I'm like, oh, that's what's up. Corey's lives out here. So I would get up with him from time to time, bring my son over, whatever. He found out I was having surgery, naturally called to check on me. Long story short, in addition to checking on me, my man was like, yo, me and my son gonna come over and rake your leaves. And I'm like, nah, man, you ain't got to do that. But of course, he came anyway. And not only did he come like he said he would to rake my leaves, because I was, disabled temporarily, they bought us dinner, you know what I'm saying, which I thought was so dope. Like they bought us dinner, they bought us wine, they bought us bread, bought us fresh sauce, all kinds of stuff. Like it was a super dope gesture. And he raked my leaves. You know what I mean? So I don't go on Facebook ever, like ever. But I felt inclined to thank him publicly, him and his family, because I grew up going to his parents' house, his house when we were younger, and I knew where it came from. You know what I'm saying? So I thanked his parents for raising, because there's three of them, three boys, raising three great men, because he didn't have to do that. You know, he didn't have to do that, but it was a burden lifted off of me, because that's one less thing I got to worry about, being that I can't move around like I would like to. So shout out to the Johnson family, Corey Johnson.
I talked to Ian today, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the Johnsons. That's what's up. Well, heal up, baby. Be back sooner than later. My case, man, moving and grooving. Kids are happy and healthy. Work is some bullshit. Poetry is I'm kicking on their ass behind the scenes. Like I'm not really one on like on in the, you know what I mean? Like I'm just bad at putting on social media, but I'm kicking on their ass behind the scenes. I just did a joint the other day, virtually, big bag for 70 schools after I got back from a gig. There's 70 schools, 70 high schools in New Jersey. So it's kind of dope, man. Like,
wait, you said, say that again? I think I just fixed my camera, y'all. But go ahead, say that again.
I said I did it. I had a live gig, and then when I came back, I had a virtual gig for 70 schools in New Jersey, and just they were all tapped in virtually.
Oh, damn.
But with that came like I got 6 emails this morning, like, could you come to our school in person? You know what I'm saying? So shit is kind of dope. Can't even front.
That's what's up. So
I got it.
You know what I mean?
I got it, man. You know what I'm saying? I owed a nigga a couple dollars. What you mean you ain't got my money yet? No, I got you, bro. Cool out. You know what I'm saying? I'll get you on the rebound. Anyway, we wanted to save P for last, man. I'd like to, not that this really changes, but when you put a little more emphasis on the Mr. Prentice Powell, you know what I'm saying? Newly married man. You dig? P, congratulations.
Thank you.
For real, I mean, I've said it already, but congratulations. We want to take this time to get a sincere wedding recap, man. Start from, we want to talk about what we saw you outside. We'll get into that later on. We want to get into that now.
But I haven't thought about that shit since. So you just said that.
We're going to get into that later on. Anyways, P, right now, it's been 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks now.
Just over 2 weeks. We should have been caught up, y'all. We just been, schedules ain't been in line, so we couldn't do it. So tell us, man, you had 2 weeks to, you know, to let it marinate and all that. How you feeling?
Yeah.
What it feel like being a married man?
It feels man, it feels special, bro. Like it feel good. It feels good. Let me just say that. It feels good. It feels good. I woke up the next day like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit really felt like a 90-minute Black excellence movie to me that day. Yeah. It really did, but like I don't. So I'm still kind of floating on the experience. Like now that like folks don't know, and I didn't even talk about it on the podcast, but you know, I can talk about it now because we done said something public. Like Sarai had got unjustly fired from her job 3.5 weeks prior. I took some L's, and we were really in a difficult position where we had to thug out and will out the remainder up into the wedding, man. So that was the first day I was able to breathe, was actually getting there, man. But I'm still so in like bliss of the whole day, you know what I mean? But it felt like a 90-minute movie that was like amazing. You know what I'm saying? So
2 weeks later, you still in the bliss.
Yeah, because
that's dope.
It's a forever memory.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
You get what I'm saying? And I ain't never had one like this, but like this, I mean, shit, you was right next to me. I don't. That was some other shit. That wasn't a show. You know what I'm saying? And that was the crazy thing.
That wasn't a lunch break.
It wasn't none of that, but so I had some of the same anxiety I had before.
Doug gets a kick out of that lunch break, though.
Yo, by far the best story you've ever told on here, in case I haven't told you.
Hey, well, yeah. So it was amazing, man. So yeah, I'm very humble, but I feel really accomplished that we were able to pull it off.
Nah, that's fire, bro. I mean, that's just. I was there. Shit was a movie. I can tell you this. I can tell you this, bro. Not in a million years would I have ever imagined Dreams and Nightmares to be a wedding song. But they came out to that shit, y'all, and the party was set right then and there.
Yeah,
I was talking about that.
That set the tone.
That set the tone for the night. And it was just too cool, man. Y'all had y'all little, like, I want to say 30 seconds of doing your own thing, and everybody just jumped in, and the shit was just, that shit was alive. That was a great call. Great call.
Yeah, man. It was shout out to Sarai for that. That was all her call.
That was her idea?
Yeah, that was her idea from jump off top.
And that's why you married her, B. That's why you married her.
Like she was
also
shit,
like Belle came out to like a hip hop joint too, the Jay-Z joint, right? Yeah.
I came out to
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Crazy in Love Part 2 or something like that.
Yeah. It was cold. Like it had the nice, you know what I'm saying, had the nice feel. So like that shit was dope. She was dope, but Dreams of Nightmare was way like his still had that, you know, who wants that perfect love story anyway? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this thing was on left field, but Pete, that shit was cold. Damn,
man.
It was a good time for sure.
That shit was a real good time.
So, most memorable moment of the night. Let's go.
Come on, bud. There's probably 20 I'm gonna remember when cats remind me and show me some footage.
Can I tell you mine? Can I tell you mine? What you think?
Yeah, what's yours?
Prentice, I don't even, you may not even heard about this one. So here's the deal, right? So it was me and Mia for the most part just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Mia.
Yeah, we was at the table together. And she put me on to old fashions with Buffalo Trace. So we was banging old fashions. You know what I'm saying? But I was cool. Like I was eating, I wasn't drunk. And then like I felt that shit coming on. Like, okay.
Them old fashions, that's why I ordered. That was my fault.
I said it. Pete, I don't know if you heard this story.
I'm about to tell the story right now. Go ahead. So boom. So it's coming on, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm not drunk yet, but I feel it. You know
hold on. Yo, you gotta listen closely. Sorry, bro.
So
go ahead.
And this is why I love, because this is how it's been for 2 weeks. I get new stories every fucking day. This
wasn't at the wedding though. But listen, go ahead.
But it was at the wedding. But anyway, so right, I'm then it was at the time where the open bar shut down. So I'm just buying drinks, you know what I'm saying? Having a good time. But then I'm like, yo, we got a flight in like 5 hours or 6 hours or some stupid shit like that. So I'm like, let me just get ahead of this. You know what I'm saying? Like the wedding was almost over. It was probably like 11 something. You know what I mean? So I'm like 11:15. I'm like, all right, let me just get down to the room, get some rest. Boom. I'm like, all right, feeling all right. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what happened between
this nigga's dying over here.
Me leaving the wedding and getting to the room, right?
You stayed in the hotel, right?
Yeah, I stayed at the hotel. All the alcohol must have hit me right away, right? But boom, I get undressed, I get in bed, and I'm like, we got to be responsible. Chief ain't back yet, right? So I'm just like, I'm about to take it down, so we don't miss our flight. Then I wake up like an hour later. I had to pee. All right, all that alcohol running through me, right? So now I sleep in my drawers, right? I sleep in my drawers. And this night I think I had a wife beater on, but I sleep in my drawers. This I know I was drunk because I fell asleep with my watch on. But anyway, I go to the bathroom and then I walk out the bathroom. And I don't know if I was drunk walking or sleepwalking, but when the bathroom door closed, I like woke up. And then I realized it wasn't the bathroom door. It was the hallway door. So I'm in the hotel hallway with my drawers on and a white beater with no socks.
B.
Oh shit!
B. This nigga
Look, you in your drawers in the hallway,
My
baby.
drawers and a
he
wife
text
beater.
me. He texts me and he's like, "Yo, where you at?" And I'm like, "I'm chilling." He's like, "I think I locked my key in the room. Come to the room." Whatever. So, yo, I turn the corner to go down the hallway, P. This nigga is barefoot in his drawers and his wife beater in the hallway.
In the hallway, fam.
Yo, I wish I had my camera. I didn't.
I'm so glad he
Oh,
didn't. Yo, the only thing that saved me, bro, is I fell asleep with my watch on.
That's it.
I fell asleep with my watch on, so I was able to text and call him from my watch.
Oh, you had an Apple
Yeah,
Watch.
I had an Apple Watch. So
Shit.
I was so out of it. I'm like, well, maybe when I went to the bathroom, he was asleep. I just didn't see him. So I just started banging on the door. I'm like, ain't nobody in this bitch.
I didn't know. I just figured, you know what I mean? He stepped out of the hall for, whatever. Like, let me
Wait, okay, so hold on, but so hold on. So did you go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
So you went to the bathroom, walked out the bathroom, and then walked out
the
the room?
Yes.
Instead of walking to the bed.
Instead of walking to the bed. Yeah. But I really think I was sleepwalking because the thing is, bro, I was walking down the hall. It's not like I walked out. I was like, oh shit, I'm in the hallway. Let me turn back around. I was walking down the hall.
And the door closed.
And the door closed. It woke me up. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Like, what is going on here?
You look so homeless.
But this is the funniest shit I've heard in a long ass time.
Yo, man.
When I tell you he looked so homeless and bored.
Oh, shit.
He had no socks on. He was just in the hallway looking stupid as shit. Like,
but the fact that you like woke up mid stroll,
man, and was just like,
oh shit,
like I'm in the hallway, fam. And
yeah, that tops everyone I've heard so far. That is by far the greatest.
I mean, and unfortunately, Chief wasn't that far, so I wasn't in the hallway long. You know what I mean?
Yo, that shit was so funny.
I was in the hallway because then it's like,
oh my god, it was.
So you would have had to go all the way downstairs to the lobby.
So, yo, man, listen.
On a Saturday night.
Now you could probably went to the elevator. Like they've got the phone by the elevator. You probably used that joint.
Yeah.
You probably did that.
But
still,
nigga would have been in his draw.
I'm at the opposite end.
Right. We was at the almost the last door.
And I had a do-rag on. So with the
oh shit. Looking like a GTA character.
That shit was so funny, yo. That was a great laugh. I can't.
That's hella funny.
Shit was a great laugh. And then he proceeded to just crack jokes for the next hour. Like, just
now I'm up. You know, and I'm drunk. So.
That shit was a good time for real. So I was telling P that when Black told me he had got married, he was like, "Yo, it wasn't like I was scared. I was ready to go, but he's like, my feet were cold, for real." And he was like, "My feet were cold." And I was like, "P, your feet cold? Your feet cold? Your feet cold?" He's like, "Yeah, they are. No, I feel good. No, yeah, they are, but I feel good." But so then everybody, me and Bell, we was going to get breakfast. Bell, It was Bell and I was leaving the hotel to go get breakfast. This was 8 a.m, maybe.
At the latest.
We was early.
Yeah, it was early. It was before 8.
Because I think, remember I told you I had to be back at 10 for whatever. Or we thought it was 10. So we get up early and we go outside and this nigga Prentice got an L in his hand and is just pacing a square block on the sidewalk. Like he's in this one block, just circling it, almost like tracing the joint with the look of like exasperation on his face. Like, what's good, B? He like, hey man.
He looked like he was trying to solve a hard ass math problem.
Like in the one square though.
Yeah, and it's like, and he had a time limit. He didn't know how he was gonna get that shit solved.
No shit.
I ain't got my calculator.
Room on the sidewalk by itself.
Hey, but I don't think y'all niggas realize like y'all literally walked down on me in a moment. Like I was having a whole. There was nobody else in the world in that moment when y'all walked up and when I was smoking that joint. I was having to, nigga. It got real.
I already know. I already know the feeling you're talking about.
I think the cool part about that was like all black men need therapy happened to join suit, right? That was the first time you saw Bell, right? Because you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we had it
was right on time.
It was perfect. We all walked out. It was like
right on time.
Was right then and there. What was going through your mind at that time, P?
It wasn't necessarily so I had woke up at probably 5:15. and I was up, and it was dark. I was looking, we're at the Westin St. Francis downtown in Union Square in San Francisco. So
Shout out to the hotel. That joint was beautiful too.
it was beautiful, man. So my suite was dope because I got to watch the sunrise, and we at the top of downtown, So I woke up. I remember what you said about them fucking brows. So I was like, fuck it, let me start writing some shit. And I couldn't get through writing it. I couldn't get through writing some shit down because I was too emotionally tapped in. So I was like, I'm not about to do this all fucking day. So let me jot down 5 fucking lines because I know I'm not gonna say this shit. So I wrote those down. I was like, I don't want to be emotionally drained by the time we get there. My whole thing was like me folding when I saw her. So I got downstairs, I lit up, I was smoking a little bit, and then out of nowhere, bud, it just the reality and the significance of it being that day just hit me right there, bud. It was just like, yo, you're here. I don't even know what to say. I'm more prepared for any show. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the thing, but there was no preparation for the feeling, for the emotion. You get what I'm saying? Like, so for me, the biggest thing I can correlate some of that anxiety was being before a major gig, like a big one or some TV shit that's, some real big deal shit for me.
But even then, you rehearsed for that. You ready to go.
Exactly. So all I got to do is run these poems to calm myself down. I just run the poems and I'm good again. There was nothing to run. I just had to sit in the emotion and there was nothing I could do. And I tried to, y'all seem like I was pacing. That's what I always do when I'm practicing or when I'm writing. But it didn't subside. So y'all walked in right when I was just like in the thick of it, just letting it happen.
Yo, it was
like
that shit was written all over your face. All over your face, bro.
Man, that shit was crazy. I remember that moment. That was wild.
So I asked this question to Belle, and I officiate weddings often, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, thank you for, even having me officiate your joint. It was a pleasure. This was the first wedding I actually officiated and was also a groomsman in the wedding. So I thought that was like super bonus. It was hella dope experience for me. But I just tend to, just pick up gems from all the weddings that I've done and whatnot. And good, bad, or indifferent. If you could do it over again, is there anything you would change? Do you find a way to save money? Do you like take more pictures? Do you take, what I'm saying? Like what do you do differently? Do you set it up earlier? What do you do differently?
Yeah, we definitely ended up making cuts and adjustments for the budget that just weren't necessary. We knew the open bar as late as possible was something that we wanted to do for y'all. You know what I mean? Like that's just part of our personality and shit. So we knew we wanted to do that. The one thing I would say is that I would recommend anybody who's having a wedding, when it comes to your wedding planner, our photo session was not, we got to redo some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we did not get enough time to take all the photos that were needed that we wanted. So looking back, shout out to Tiana, by the way, our wedding coordinator. I'll drop her information on our page. Y'all check her out, man. She's young, super dope, did a dope job coordinating the wedding. And she got us through it quicker. But what I would do is I would have at least 2 mandatory things that you communicate to your wedding planner, to the wedding party, that must happen. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if I would have went back, I would have made sure all of us got individual photos, all the photos, the documentation of the night was priority to me, but I didn't express that. You know what I'm saying? And weddings go, time, things happen, so you got to keep moving. I would make sure that you guys decide as a couple, what are the 2 most important things, whether people gotta wait, it don't fucking matter, you know what I mean? But the things you really, really want to happen and be executed successfully, that way, if anything else gets in the way, those can get done. Because that's the only thing I would change, is just the time spent on the photo, so we could have that documentation of everybody, being there in that space in that moment.
Okay.
Other than that, man, but when I say it felt how it looks on everything I'm seeing visually so far, that shit was amazing to me, bro. Like, that shit was amazing.
Yeah, that was the 3rd black tie wedding I believe I've been to. 3rd black tie wedding I've probably been to in the last 14 months. But aesthetically, those always just look the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those always just look the best. Chief is clearly watching his bum ass Niners.
Right.
They always look the best, man. And
We kicking on the Cardinals' ass in Mexico.
yo, but what I will say, Prentice, I had, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been to the Bay before, but it was in and out, you know what I'm saying? And I never hung out in the Bay, period. But yo, I love that vibe, yo.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
like I thought the men just danced a certain way out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like on the East Coast, like we
do. We
we
definitely
do
got our
we
own
do
language.
like the Harlem Shake. You know, we got Millie
Right.
rocking and all of that, but the girls out there, it's
Different.
a culture, man. Like it's a
Yeah.
whole culture. I'm like, yo, this shit is dope, you know, and I'm a big E40 fan, right? Like, period. Like I'm an
Right.
E40 fan back from Sprinkle Me, man. All that, right? Like I love Too Short, all that bass shit, you know what I'm saying? And then what I equated it to out here in Connecticut when I was younger, we used to go to the capital city, Hartford, and there used to be like these little, basement parties and these other little parties. And in Hartford, fun fact, like it has like the highest Jamaican population, concentration of Jamaicans in the country per capita, right? Like it's a lot. And I remember I would go to these parties and I would see the chicks from Hartford. They would sing all the words to all the Jamaican songs. And I'm like, oh, they different out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I knew. I'm like, oh, this is like a whole, and they only 15 minutes away from us, but it's like it's a whole different culture in Hartford. You know what I'm saying? Because like I mumble these words to this part of the song where they singing them verbatim. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, this is different. And that's how I felt when I went to the Bay, just seeing everybody dance and just like genuinely be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. I mean, obviously they was there for you and your wedding and everything, so that obviously helped. But it was dope, man. It was dope. Like I need to learn how to do some of that shit.
I got you, bro. We're gonna put you on. Yeah, it's all you gotta when you come back, bro, we gotta like get around and move and chill and you can pick up the energy, man. Like I always say, it's a special place. But like the Bay is just it's just special. And I think what made it so dope was like I know for a fact we had the right people at our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter if you were there by yourself. You weren't gonna feel like you were there by yourself.
Right.
You know, and we had a lot of people fall through who were. Just the energy in the building, man. You know, not being able to deflect the attention was an adjustment for me too, in a way, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Explain.
poetry, I write because I love it. When I get on stage and I perform, it's me, but it's enhanced version. You know what I mean? Like there's a presentation behind what I'm doing. I'm on stage, and even within that, I can kind of hide me behind my art if I choose to. You know what I'm saying? I can deflect. I can do things that just keep me in a space of comfort when eyes are on me. With this, it was just all about us two. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it was about. So there was nothing, there was no deflecting. It was receiving that much love was a lot. It was dope as fuck. You know what I mean? But it was a lot. And it was all to me and her. You get what I'm saying? It was all to us. So there was nowhere that I could go in my wedding, and I didn't want to, but there was nowhere I could go where, I had a moment to like adjust, but I didn't want to. You know what I mean? So it was
Well,
it
like
was
you
just
mean like overwhelming to the point where
I worried that it would be, but it wasn't.
okay.
I was worried that it would be overwhelming, but it wasn't overwhelming at all. I soaked up every bit of it, and it was dope to allow myself to do it and to not get any pushback. You know what I mean? Like certain capacities, when you allow yourself to be free and open, you may get resistance depending on who you're around and where you're at, but it was all love.
Yeah, but see, not in that environment. It was so full of love. So full.
That's
of
all it was.
everywhere.
That's all it was. I mean, I got so many stories, man. It was an incredible night, bro. It was dope, and she looked amazing. So
is that did it? I know the answer is yes, but like in comparison to the love you've gotten on like your best day of performing, and it's a different love. I'm trying to see if I can like I don't know really how I want to ask this question, but like never mind. I just whatever. So with all those feelings, was it nervousness, anxiety, combination of both? Did you feel
anxiety and nervousness? Yeah.
what'd that feel like? Like in terms of like from the anxiety part of it, like was it like a fear type thing, or was it like a?
It felt like a constant climb to the peak on a roller coaster, right? That feeling right when you're almost at the top.
Same.
You know you got to look over.
Right.
It's that 6 feet over on loop.
that Wale was it Wale?
It's that on loop before you see over the peak. You get what I'm saying?
No,
and it's just that space right there, just on a cycle. So you're constantly like,
you fucking roller coasters?
Hell yeah, man. I fuck with roller coasters.
But you
don't fuck with that straight drop shit.
I'm cool.
I'll do a roller coaster.
I don't do the 360s. I can do the. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. Anyways, he slid off, man. Or something must have happened with his joint. But wedding was dope. But what's your biggest takeaway from the wedding? Do you look back now that like you've obviously done the wedding thing, but do you look back and go, damn, I probably should have had that at mine, or nah, we should have did that? Like, did we talk about yours? Like, if you cut corners in your joint, what would it be? What would you have done? Like in terms of make it different? Anything like cut?
It would have been the photography. I would have had the photographers and the videographers there longer.
Okay.
I wouldn't have allowed, because I had a destination wedding. I wouldn't have allowed the resort people to do the photography. I would have paid the upcharge to bring my own people in.
Right. Okay. So that's a gem for people getting married. That's definitely a gem.
I would do that. My cousin was gonna DJ my wedding, but unfortunately his bags got sent to Bogota, so he left his all his stuff was in the bag. So I would have done that too, because Prentice DJ
bodied that thing.
Yeah, he was everything.
He killed that joint.
So DJ's important. I would have like I said, same thing Prentice said. I would have had videographers there longer and photographers there longer.
So one of the people I spoke to said that they wouldn't even had a videographer. They would just added another photographer. They said like the video was like we didn't really need it. They was like we just took a bunch more pictures. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, we definitely look at pictures more than the video. I agree.
My bad, y'all.
All good. So
I would be curious to see what happens with Prentice, because they had a video. Yeah, I had a videographer too, right, P?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, my man Matt, who does my poetry videos. He's putting something together.
So I'm curious to know, going forward, like, because we were just talking about. He asked me what I would have done different when I got married, But I'll be curious to see how often you watch the video compared to how often you look at the pictures.
Yeah, so what I was saying was, P, when I asked people like what would they do differently, some people like I wouldn't even had a videographer. Like it's all I would have had another photographer and took more pictures and whatnot, because they were like the video we don't even look at. Like we just look at the photo albums.
Well, so my thought on it, just as an artist though, as a creative, our photographer, we only have one photographer. Shout out to Monique. Her name is Monique Yvette. She's amazing. Her eye, the emotion she can capture, what she does with the camera is it's phenomenal, and she does it with us over and over. So I knew the photos are going to tell a story that video can't. And then you got my man Matt, who does he's ill with things visually, and he's creative, and he has a marketing background and knows how to put things together. That's a whole different art, you know what I mean? So I wanted as many different keepsakes as possible. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, I definitely would not take away a videographer or a camera, or photographer. I would definitely keep both, because I think they both serve different purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like the video is going to serve a different feeling than the photos capture, and I can go to either.
The other thing I would have done, which somebody did suggest to me, but P, you know how it go. You coming up on that day, it's like, man, with my bank account set up, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
You already be tapped out. But one thing they did suggest, which wouldn't have been a big cost because I could have had somebody from around the way do it, they suggested having somebody, because I had a destination wedding, so they said have somebody video from the time everybody get there to the time everybody leave. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just like to document the whole trip. But what I will do, we got our 5-year coming up this year. If we decide to reunite the gang again, like we had talked about, I will have somebody videoing the whole time. So
Yeah,
that'd be dope. But,
Yeah, definitely be dope.
that's expensive too.
yeah, you get like a little young boy, you know what I'm saying? That's getting this shit off the ground. You pay for his trip, you know what I mean? Give him a
Yeah,
couple
that's true.
dollars.
There's plenty of ways to make it happen.
Yeah, like
That are inexpensive.
it ain't terrible.
Yeah.
It ain't terrible.
Yeah, but I get it now, man. You know, it was interesting. I was seeing the closer we were getting to the wedding. And I want to know what y'all think about this, both of y'all. The closer we get to the wedding, I just randomly see commentary on weddings. And one of the things, obviously, if you cash out for a wedding, you know the cost. I didn't understand the amount and the level of fees and the things you have to pay for and how they all really do add up. And depending on the venue, that's a cost within itself, right? So for me, I really shit, I just went blank.
You're talking
I really just went blank.
how money adds up.
So money adds up. What the fuck was I saying before that?
You were just
That
talking
was weird as fuck. I just went hella blank.
different things add up and it gets hella expensive.
Yeah, it was something before that. I was going. I forget what I was saying. It'll probably come back to me, but my bad. I don't know. That's fucking weird. What was my point? What did you say right before that, Bill?
We were talking about the videographer and a lot of different ways to go about doing it inexpensively.
Getting the young boy from
Getting a young boy, paying for their trip.
Damn, I really went blank. I don't remember.
And you was talking about you didn't understand how weddings work. And
yeah. So I didn't understand no, still don't remember.
I got it. Wait a minute, I don't.
We'll get back on it.
We can get back to that. I did want to touch on the incident is a very strong word. Experience we had in the elevator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think that's a whole nother episode though, bro.
Well, I don't even know what we're talking about today. So
yeah, we just talking.
Right,
Let's
so
go ahead.
It's also a wedding recap. So
okay,
yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. So I came to I tend to question whether or not I take things too personal sometimes, right? And there's another incident that happened, Pete. I'm not sure I want to talk about it right now, but we're gonna talk about it afterwards, and then maybe we can double back on it in the next episode. But I'll fill you in when we hang up. But remind me though when we end the episode.
Got you. And I remember what I was gonna say. I got you. I'll remind
you. You want to say it now?
No. Go ahead. I'll remember.
I'm in the elevator.
Right.
You go ahead, get out the way. Go ahead. Elevator story. I'll write that down. I know what I gotta say. Go ahead.
Oh shit! I forgot again, but go ahead.
So, I've been in the spirit of all Black men need therapy. I've been doing a lot of introspection lately, you know what I'm saying, and we all continue to do it. Some great things have happened recently. Actually, Bell, never mind. But I'm in the elevator, and Bell and I, we're not like small men per se. Like we both 6'2", 200 plus. You know what I'm saying, and white dude comes on the elevator. Me and Bell on the elevator. White dude comes up. Not a small white dude. White dude come on the elevator, and I'm just like, "Good morning." Smile on face. He don't say nothing. So my next, I'm like, "Good morning." And Bell's like, "Yo, what if that man don't want to talk to you?" I'm like, "I was just saying good morning to him, trying to make him feel comfortable." Like, yeah, but in fact, you actually made him feel more uncomfortable by the way you said good morning to him. Because my second good morning was like, "Motherfucker, you don't hear me talking to you?" You know.
Right.
But I didn't mean it that way. It was kind of like maybe he didn't hear me. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? But Bell knows me, so he's like, "Nigga, that was a little aggressive." I'm like, "But it was good morning." You know what I'm saying? So my intent, again, impact versus intent, was about just saying good morning. And I'm figuring common courtesy is when somebody greets you, you greet them back. Like
yeah, you came downstairs pressed. You got to talk about that too. Like when y'all got to me,
I was more pissed, not pissed, but I was more angry with the argument Bell and I were having because he's like, yo, you just pissed that man off. And I'm like, yo, I was trying to say good morning, help him. You know what I mean? I was more, I think it's because he was white. And honestly speaking, I think it's because he was white. And with the racial tension going on, I feel like when white people don't do shit they're supposed to do, it come like, in my head, it's common courtesy. I feel like he's being racist. So I felt like it was going to be a problem. So that's probably why my head went there. You know what I'm saying? But even though I didn't respond, I was like, good morning. And Bell's like, yo, well, that man don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about? Like, I don't care what either one of y'all going through. Somebody say good morning, you might just like, you know what I mean, wave your hand, acknowledge, head nod, something. He didn't say shit.
That's common courtesy.
Right.
But that he don't owe you common courtesy. That's the only point I was trying to make. Right. It's like you can't make me speak to you. And that's essentially what you did. You made that man speak to you. Because his response was, oh, good morning. Like his response. Who the fuck is that? I was talking to you? His reaction was of that he didn't know you were talking to him. Right. Now, granted, what I'll also say is when he walked in, his head was down. Like he was on his phone or something. You know what I'm saying? Bless you. So he wasn't making eye contact. Now, if you looked him in his eyes and he didn't say anything, I'm not saying you can't be offended. I'm saying you still can't make that man speak to you. Right? Like that's not his responsibility to appease you in the morning. And what you're saying is, which I understand, you're just being courteous. Right? That's like saying everybody you hold the door for should say thank you, but they're not. Right?
I'm big on it.
I'm big on that too. I'm big on that too. Now, again, I'm doing something because I'm going out of my way because of how I'm wired. Doesn't mean they're wired that way. You know what I'm saying? So Chief and I got in a back and forth about it because at first he wasn't trying to hear what I had to say. He was just like, no, like I say hi, you say hi. Like that's how it works. And I'm like, bro, like you literally said there's racial tension, right? So why are you surprised if this man's not speaking to you? Right? Like the reason why you're speaking to him is because of the racial tension. The reason why he may not be speaking to you because of the racial tension. Right? Like it's both things can be true. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's not that man's responsibility to speak to you. And I went a step further. I'm like, yo, what if by him speaking to you, it actually ruins his day? Not because you're black, not because anything, just because he can't speak to nobody before 10 o'clock in the morning. Right? That's just a chemical imbalance he has. And as a result, he just can't speak to nobody. Then the other thing that could be present is what if he was deaf? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if he was deaf?
You're going too far.
You're
going too far, Nick. Like, fuck out of here. Stop trying to make these pacified excuses for these niggas. Well, somebody greet you with good morning. Say good morning back.
Yeah, you supposed to. But if they don't, it's like, now you're going to beat them up.
Okay, so maybe he didn't hear me. So I said it again in case and see if he didn't hear me. Now, if he didn't say it the second time, then we might have had to have a different conversation. But he said good morning. I left it alone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he didn't have to say shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Like,
I don't agree with him not saying shit. I'm saying
he didn't have to.
He didn't have to. Like my expectations aren't that high.
How do you respond to that situation, P? You, me, and you say good morning. But
I mean, we talked about it because that's when y'all was coming down to when y'all ran into me in the morning.
Yeah, yep.
So I remember I told you, I don't know if it's because I had smoked a little bit by that time, but I thought it was hilarious that you were mad that some white man didn't speak to you. I was like, your expectations are way too high.
I think it was just common courtesy for me, bro. That's what it is.
I get it, but I mean, come on, bro. You surprised for any reason if some white man don't speak to you? You know what I'm saying? And then I brought up, you're like that though. Because you're one way, you expect people to be the same way in courteous forms, not in when it comes to like chivalry and courtesy and respect. You're big on that shit being reciprocal because you pride yourself off of being one of them, and you can't do that.
After further reflection, I think that's what I was trying to say that couple episodes ago when we were having that conversation, and I was like, I'm a master of this shit. But I think what it is like I expect people to give me what I give them. And that shit don't resonate. It's not the same, and that shit bothers me, bro.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about Chiefs is that it bothers you, but you don't do it for the reason of reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you tailor yourself as that type of man because that's who you are, not because you want to see reciprocity. But that shit still bother the fuck out of you because
You
you
don't get
doing
it.
that shit.
Right.
So
Because
that's just how you are.
I think I genuinely believe that most people are good people, and if in with that,
Yeah, but
with
him
the
not
common-
speaking to
common
you
courtesy-
doesn't mean he's not a good person.
No, he's a
though,
piece of
bro.
shit, pal.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean
He
he's
don't
not
want
a
to hear
good
that
person.
shit, bro. He don't want to hear that.
I hear you, and I get it, and I respect it. And
It's like,
in-
yo, think
in
about it.
passing again, I would probably respond better. But my thing is, I just expect common courtesy from people, bro.
Yeah,
Especially when acknowledged first.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying, and I'm not saying he's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I am saying is your expectations for people probably need to be managed a little bit, right? Like, though you should expect him to respond, but you can't be upset if he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have high expectations, but not be disappointed when they're not met.
I think I can. I think it's
Yeah, you can.
a matter
I
of.
think you could be. I think you could be
responding to it, though.
disappointed.
I could be disappointed to take that shit with me. I don't have to make an issue out of it. And I think that's the issue.
Right.
Yeah, but why does it bother you so much?
I just think I just really believe in like the reciprocity
Like,
of
cause think about it, bro.
courtesy, bro.
Think
Like,
about it. Think about if I wasn't there.
human decency. Hi.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but now you're
You know
gonna
what
let
I'm
that shit could potentially impact at least the next 34 minutes of your day. You know what I'm saying? At least.
And a
And it's
great
like-
fucking day.
Yeah,
A great
and
day.
Right,
and that man probably wouldn't remember this event if we both showed up and said, "Hey, remember that time we was in the elevator?" He'd be like, who are you guys?" Right? My point is he didn't think twice about it. But now you carrying it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, for what?
He
Like-
probably didn't think twice about it until you said something too, bitch.
Yeah, I was trying to do
That
it.
man don't gotta talk to you. Like you making the issue now. Like he was probably fine with it. Maybe he was. Oh, I didn't hear you. Hello, good morning, and that was it. But you
But you still don't know. Like
you made him uncomfortable.
No,
The
you-
fact that this made it to the
Listen, man.
podcast, like you
You-
still don't know.
that aggressive ass tone you gave him, he
All
was
I said
definitely
was, "Good
uncomfortable.
morning, Chris."
No. You said, I said good morning. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were talking to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I
Hey,
just,
you heard me.
I just don't. I just.
All right. So next time I'm not gonna say good morning. Second time I'm just gonna slap shit out of him. Say,
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, that could have went there. Like, it could have went there for good morning, bro. like nobody's having a good morning now. You know what I'm saying?
No, so okay, so for real, I do think it may not have you amplify the situation though, bro, by being like, this man don't got to speak to you.
No, you didn't.
Deflecting
You
like
didn't
fuck, bro.
amplify that
You
shit.
deflecting like
No,
fuck.
I'm trying to fucking fuck that.
No,
When I say good morning,
you're trying
say
to let yourself off the hook.
Nah, I acknowledge it. I accepted it. I accepted it. I acknowledge it. I accepted it. And moving forward, I would. It's a lesson learned. I say good morning again. They don't say nothing. I'm just gonna grind my teeth and walk off the elevator and then leave.
But what I'm saying
ass
is,
fuck.
what that's what I mean. It's like, why does that bother you? So much?
I can't explain to you as to why it bothers me. Just I think just
But that's what I'm saying. But
because
that's,
common courtesy, I believe, is just it's a basic courtesy that people should
yeah,
get.
but it's more than common courtesy because if that was an elderly woman, would you still feel the same way? Elderly black woman?
Yeah, I think so. It might not come across. It might not come across as aggressive, but then if she's elderly, I might go to your previous point of trying to justify this shit. Maybe she can't hear me. You know, maybe
Yeah.
she was deaf. Got
She was, man. I just don't care that much. Like I think that's
That could be it too.
that's why I just don't care. Like,
That could be it too. You know,
because that's the thing about Chief, y'all. Like Chief used to be angry back in the day.
it used to be. I'm
And,
so and this. Can
but
I pat
here's-
myself on the back? I'm
yes,
very
but-
proud of
but-
myself, bro.
You should be. But my only question is that displaced anger? That's my only question. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely
did you shift it
Definitely not.
from wherever it was before to now this?
Definitely
like
not.
now
You've saved me from a couple. Well, in the aftermath of one, and then right in the middle of the other. But you saved me from a couple things where the displaced anger kind of came out. I've done so much work, bro. Like,
Oh, I know you have, and I'm proud of you. I'm just saying, there's still something there,
yeah,
and it
but-
may always be there. It may always be there.
But I think the way it's displayed now is completely different too, bro. Like I haven't, and not that this is an example of anger, but like I don't like in terms of like that was probably the most, not really the other dude in the car with his son, with his punk ass kid. I had to spaz on him, but like the most aggressive I've been with somebody in quite some time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really, I'll if something pisses me off, I take it with me. I ain't really confront people in the moment. I'm taking my space.
I mean,
And
there's also something to be said about, speaking your truth in real time. Like
that
something to be said
too.
about that
But
too.
even then, I'm able to articulate that in a manner as to which
You think you can. So just hear me. I'm just saying, like you're capable of, but when you're upset, it doesn't always come out one the way you intend it, and two the way you hear it.
true.
Because
True,
emotions are
but I
involved.
know
You
in
know what I
that
mean?
regard, I was definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like the second good morning was definitely, you didn't hear me fucking speaking to you the first time?
Yeah. The
You know what I'm
second,
saying?
but even still, it wasn't threatening. It was almost aggressive, but it wasn't threatening. You know what I'm saying?
Not anyways.
But
It
anyway,
definitely, I definitely felt some type of way about the lack of courtesy from the white dude. But
yeah, I'm curious to see what our listeners got to say about that scenario.
Again, I think it might have just it felt disrespectful. That's what it felt like. Like, not that
So we should probably table this for another episode. About an epiphany I had about disrespect.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. We can do that. So let's go ahead and wrap it up, fellas. P, you went last and opening up, and we talked about you for the most part. Give us your final thought in regards to a beautiful wedding weekend and being around your loved ones and celebrating with your kids. By the way, your shorties looked amazing, bro. I saw pictures. They was that shit was dope. Shit was real dope.
I'll tie this in with what I was gonna say, man. I saw a lot of things. I just so happened to start seeing more things about marriage. Just like when you buy a new car, you start to see a lot more of them on the road. Just how it happened. And I've heard the conversations about people's opinions on the amount of money spent, the time put in, all these different things. And why do this for one day? Regardless of reasons. Some people say before you own a car or before you own a home or, different things. Everybody has an opinion. I would absolutely, my final statement would be do what the fuck makes you happy. Do what you feel is the language of love that you and your partner want to use to celebrate what you guys got going on. Who gives a fuck if anybody thinks anything about however you choose to? And I didn't have this problem. So let me make that clear. I didn't face opposition in people's opinions about my marriage or my wedding at all. I didn't face any of that. But after doing it exactly how we wanted to do it, exactly where and when, I wouldn't trade any of that shit in for the world. I wouldn't trade any of the stress, any of the hiccups, any of it, because there is something very special about celebrating your love in the exact manner you intend to. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you can apply that to your wedding day, you can apply that to every day of your marriage, is that you have an opportunity to do this shit exactly how you want to. And I think that's the biggest foundation that successfully pulling off what we pulled off and it being what it ended up being, which was way bigger than us anyway, wouldn't have happened if we didn't do it the exact way we wanted to. So my final thought is love exactly in the way that you tend to love. Celebrate your love exactly how you want to celebrate that shit because you deserve it.
That's hard.
That's hard and hard to follow.
Yeah, that's hard. That shit was real.
That shit is real because at the end of the day, it's your life, right? And
we get caught up into public opinion real man. Easy,
And sometimes that's just deep. What you just said is very deep, but I won't bother going any deeper. I'll just say keep the right people around you, right? Like surround you. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to now that I'm laid up, I'm about to just put a motherfucking manifesto together about, you know, the second half of my life and how I wanted to look. And, you know, me and Chief talked about it. And I was just telling them, and they were like, just make sure you don't tell anybody, because you don't want nobody trying to sabotage you. I'm like, I'm not around those type of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tell everybody that's close to me, because in my mind, once it's public, one, it's a level of accountability that's then instituted. One, two, the people that I tell this to that may have done what I'm trying to do can also help me. Right. So I choose to look at it like, I'm going to keep the people around me that's going to help me grow. Like, I'm not worried about keeping something to myself in fear of retribution, right? Like somebody's going to do something to hurt me. Like I don't live like that. That's a survival mentality. Right. And my goal is to have people around me that live in life in abundance, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean money, right? That just means what you're trying to get accomplished, because there's so many things that we do as Black men specifically that are survival tactics, right? That are bred in survival, right? Sometimes we be doing well, but can't even appreciate it because we're so used to fucking surviving. So we can't even sit back and for lack of a better term, gloat to ourselves or be grateful. Maybe that's a better word, right? Just be grateful, right? Because I'll speak for myself. I know I operate a lot of times in a scarcity mindset where it's like, oh nah, somebody might take this from me, so I got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't sit back and appreciate all this hard work. Like I gotta keep plugging. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, when you keep people around you that have your best interest in mind always, then you're gonna be all right. So keep good people around.
I
follow that shit up, Chief.
Nah, I ain't got nothing for that, but I can say the good people I have around me is y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And again, this as I'm saying this sincerely, this isn't a chance to like deflect, but I think part of that is just for the people I surround. Like I said, if somebody say good morning to y'all two cats, y'all would say good morning back. So I think you get accustomed to being around a certain type of person. So when you get around somebody who don't, who don't follow suit, it's uncomfortable as fuck to me. You know what I'm saying?
It should be.
So, but to your point, man, I think
that's your
no, yeah. I mean, I think keeping good people around you is a good thing, because like my man hit me like, yo, we got to come up with this $1 million plan. Come up with your $1 million plan, P. And I think I'm like, yo, we not doing that.
Yeah.
Like you don't got nobody in your circle saying, yo, what's your $1 million plan? And I think if nothing less, and I say this in as humble as I can, if nothing less, I know you two and everyone else in my immediate circle, whenever they have said they're going to do something, has got it done. There hasn't been an if, ands, or but about it. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever the firing happens, the loss of jobs, the whatever happens, but it's gotten done. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm speaking to us right now, the three of us, when we put a plan together, it ain't no stopping us. And that's real talk. We get so comfortable in the successes that we have that, like Bell said, like I got to where I said I wanted to be. And now I'm like, shit, I need to keep going. Like, what's my next plan? And I think, in all honesty, yo, we are sitting on way too much potential to just keep taking strides, small strides. Let's keep dreaming and keep chasing. And when we put it on paper, and like I said, Bell said, put it in the air, and now it becomes a reality. And we gotta live up to that, because there's plenty of people who don't think we're gonna get what we gotta get.
And consider this, Bell. I want to say something, piggyback off that, Chief. Sometimes getting to the space where you don't have a plan because you've reached the shit you were thinking about is exactly where you're supposed to be in that moment. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like sometimes it's okay. I'm not saying you thinking the opposite, but remember, it's okay to have accomplished some shit and be able to be on a little plateau for a minute where you can look around and figure out what your next move is. You've earned that shit.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
100%. But yes, I don't disagree. And that's kind of where I am, right? That's kind of where I am. But I just think it's ill because people always talk about make your goals big enough so when you say them, someone will laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if I would have did that when I first made my goals, I wouldn't be at this plateau.
That's a crazy thought.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't. So I think in my head, and it's all relative, right?
Yeah.
But I think at the time when I was 22 years old, when I wrote these things down, I think a part of me felt like I wasn't going to accomplish them, all of them anyway, because they were so big to me and audacious
Right.
me at that point in that time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Where now I look at it like, damn, little dude, if you would have just did a little bit more work, right? Like with casting the vision.
Right. Imagine if that goal was, squared a little bit.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Now look
perspective at though, like perspective, at least now you got the game to build a rocket ship.
Oh, now it's,
you know what I mean?
A wrap. It's a wrap now. Like that's why it's
like the blueprint.
Yeah, now exactly. Now it's a wrap, and now not only that, you got more people around you. Right. I got my wife now, whereas before I was just doing this by myself. You know what I'm saying? Now you have your wife now, right? So
damn, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not just there for tax purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can get somewhere faster. What they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
Right. Absolutely. But I think also just like having that someones that when you say go together, they got your back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they fighting the same fight with you or chasing the same, or chasing their own, but like you're on that same page. You don't got to leave nobody behind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that shit is super, super dope. I thought I enjoyed this talk with you guys, fellas. With you fellas, man. I missed y'all boys. We need to, again, per usual, be more consistent, but we're gonna keep this train rolling. P, make sure you go to my website and leave a testimonial, bro.
Yeah, I got you on that. I'm about to leave.
Testimonial for what?
I gotta figure out. I want to write this shit without seeming and sounding biased.
I forget he's like a real officiant.
It be your own people. We was just talking about togetherness, nigga. What the fuck is you doing? Like, just had a real solid moment.
I'm a hater, man.
Damn, cuz.
Shit.
Anyways, yeah, yo, per usual, man. Hit us up at all Black Men Need Therapy on all social media outlets. All Black Men Need Therapy at gmail.com. We're gonna pitch again for somebody who want to handle our social media, help us level up the brand.
No, somebody hit us, yo.
Did they?
Really?
Yeah. They hit us. It was like, what direction y'all want to go? We never responded.
You didn't respond?
Oh, come on.
You right with shit,
what
man.
the fuck?
To the person who did that, hit us up again, because I don't know where was it on email, Instagram, where?
I don't remember, man.
Be better, man. That's why we need
I'm the only Black man that need therapy on this podcast, huh? Okay. Let's see what we're doing.
My silence.
Like we don't all have access to our email.
Yeah. Word. Anywho, yo, hit us up. Let us know what y'all think about what's going on. Some topics y'all want us to talk about.
Yeah.
All the good stuff, man. Where y'all been at? Y'all still rocking with us? Like, you know what I mean? That we are, because people been hitting us up like, yo, when y'all dropping? Like, so that's kind of cool. Like to still be receiving that. They rock with us heavy. So nevertheless, per usual, do us all a favor, hug a Black man today.
Do that shit.
And tomorrow.
Do it.
We out, y'all.
Peace.